Hey guys, MCU Collector here with the new video. This is the Hasbro Power Rangers Lightning Collection Wave 3 Mighty Morphin Lord Drakkon. So this is pretty cool. This figure was, I think, officially announced. We kind of knew it was coming already. I don't know if there was any actual official announcement or if it was just strong rumor. But it was announced during one of the European conventions, and then lo and behold, it started to show up at some places. I forget what it's called. But then Entertainment Earth actually had the full wave case available in stock. So I ordered it. So I got Lord Drakkon, and then I also have the Mighty Morphin Red Ranger that I'll be reviewing at some point after this. But this one I wanted to get to first because this one I'm pretty excited about. It's a little bit different because the whole thing with Power Rangers, I was only going to collect the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers because that's the show that I watched. Well, and Zeo, because I did watch through Zeo. So it's this one kind of throws it off because this is a comic figure, really, unless they do say that it's based off of the Shattered Grid trailer thing for the comic. So I think that's kind of how it's working out. But anyway, it's Mighty Morphin. It says it right there. So I'm going with it. I'm gonna get it. The crazy thing is the Power Rangers figures kind of. The case packs are kind of odd. You know, the first wave, there was only one Lord Zed, but 3 White Ranger. In wave 3, you actually only get 1 Drakkon, 1 Dino Charge Gold Ranger, 3 Beast Morphers Blue Ranger, and 3 of the Mighty Morphin Red Ranger. So Jason figure should be pretty easy to get, but this one I think is going to be a tough one. You know, Bandai did release one that was the Power Morphicon exclusive, and that value just skyrocketed immediately, and it was hard to get and stuff. And that was a very good looking figure. I never got it. I did have the other Mighty Morphin figures from Bandai, but then I sold them all off. Hasbro got the master license and then now owns Power Rangers completely. So they released this in Wave 3. Pretty awesome. So the artwork on Lord Drakkon looks pretty cool. We get the figure. We get some accessories in there, some hands. We get the dagger and the Tommy Oliver head. And I know some people are saying that, where's Saba? Where's Saba? So I'm going to do a little bit more research into this because I didn't read the comics to figure out kind of what's going on. I think he had Saba at some point. In the trailer, he didn't. So I don't know. We'll just kind of have to see. Side artwork there. Side artwork there. There's a look at the back of the package with the Drakkon figure. And I kind of wish that Hasbro would do a little bit of a bio on the back of these for the Power Rangers, but they don't. But anyway, we'll get right to it. There is the UPC for you folks if you need it. Let's open them up. Okay, so here is the Lord Drakkon figure out of the package. You know what? It's a very good figure, but typical with all these Hasbro releases for the Power Rangers, they're all basically the same. They all basically use the same body molds. Now, yes, there's a couple of different new pieces on here. The forearm pieces are new. The boots, the lower legs might be new. I have to look. Those might actually just be something over it. So for the most part, it's a reused figure, and Hasbro's been very smart about it. We can release all these different Rangers and keep using the same exact body mold. Now, that's to be expected because all the Power Rangers look the same, so really how else would you do it? There's really no other way. So when it comes to other types of figures and things, you know, they only need to do the minimum things to make it different because the body is going to be the same. You know, we get a new belt piece. That's always kind of going to be the case. We get new head sculpts, which is good. The helmets are always different. But again, the body molds are essentially the exact same. But he is really cool. So let's get in closer to take a look at it. The awesome things are the helmet and the unmasked Tommy Oliver head sculpt, both really, really good looking. So let's get in close for those. Okay, so here's an up-close look at the Lord Drakkon figure. So I really wanted to get in close so you guys could see the Tommy Oliver head sculpt. And I think it looks pretty good. The scars came out looking really good, how they did that. It looks to be using kind of the digital print to make sure they kind of get those crisp lines and the different color, the colors in there. So I like the way that looks. Now from the straight on, you know, he almost looks kind of cross-eyed and kind of what's going on, but I do see how it's Tommy Oliver. And again, it's, you know, it's an alternate reality future Tommy Oliver, so he, you know, he looks older and aged, but I think it looks pretty good. The hair is just kind of all the same length, just done in black. There's no coloring or anything on there. I think the head looks a bit small, but it's because I think the shield is just so large that it was kind of tricky to even get on. So then it kind of has that look it just makes it look smaller than I think it kind of really is. I think it's just kind of an optical illusion, but it was really tricky to get on, but I think it looks really good, and I have no complaints with it there. So I also wanted to do a quick side-by-side comparison of the two Tommy Oliver head sculpts, and you can see they are very similar. They are about the same size, so that all looks pretty good. Again, one's definitely older. So we're going to pop this off. I'm actually going to see if this ponytail head will go on. Again, this thing was super tricky to get on. You know, off is never usually a problem. And we should just be able to pop this on because this thing goes onto all the figures, and again, they all use the same mold. So that fits on there, and I think that actually looks decent there. But anyway, we'll get that on and we'll get to the Drakkon helmet. And again, it's tricky because this armor, the shield piece, is kind of sits so high up. It's really tricky. And there it is. And I think that helmet looks awesome. I love the way it looks. Paint apps are pretty clean. I can see a little bit of gold coming onto that black. Not a big deal at all. I think that looks really, really good. I love the way it came out, but I really like the way the shield came out. It looks very clean. It's actually a harder plastic kind of up here on these points that really stick out. You know, it's still a little rubbery, but it's definitely not flimsy at all. And the green paint on it came out looking pretty clean. I like the way it looks. It's got the gold bands. These forearm pieces are new. So you can see it's all sculpted, so you're not going to get any swivel in there or anything, but we'll take a look at the articulation here shortly. So this actually, that power coin is the Dragon Zord power coin. So I think obviously this thing will get reused when we get a standard Green Ranger, not the Fighting Spirit, because the Fighting Spirit had the dagger on the wrong side and whatnot. So this one I think will be used when they do a standard Green Ranger or regular Green Ranger. These lower leg shin pieces, these are new. There's actually a swivel in there, so that's what this bottom piece is, the new piece. The feet we've seen over and over again. As far as accessories, out of the package he comes with 2 open hands, and then he also comes with additional fists for the left and right, and then he has this effect piece that would use typically with Saban would have been the better one, because I believe this one came with the White Ranger, but since he doesn't have Saban, I guess the Dragon Dagger could work ish. That's not the greatest. It doesn't fit real nice and could plop off. Anyway, there it is. Let's get into the articulation now. Okay, so let's go over his articulation. So he can look down, but the shield is going to hinder that quite a bit. Up, he's not going to get a whole lot. He can only really look up that much. Again, the shield is going to hinder that. The unmasked head shouldn't be too much of a problem, but looking up will definitely be a problem because that hair is really going to get in the way. You get the swivel, of course. You do get a little bit of pivot in there. Not a whole lot. Shoulder can go up. You gotta kind of work it there. Shoulder can go up that high, which is really good. You can get, it's kind of tight, you gotta kind of rework it. You could get a full swivel in there if you want, but you really want to be careful and kind of get it outwards because of the shield in there. He does have the butterfly joint, and it's going to be kind of hard to see it in full action because of the shield piece kind of hides it really in the front, so you can get it to go back that much and you can get it to go forward that much. There is the upper bicep swivel up there. You get a double jointed elbow, which works quite well. The wrists swivel and they hinge. They don't hinge a whole lot because it feels like you're not getting a whole lot of wrist space in there because it's kind of recessed in there, the peg, so it's kind of tricky, but you do get a little bit of a hinge, but it does get hindered quite a bit. So the standard articulation with these Power Rangers figures is the diaphragm joint with the ab crunch, so you can get a good pivot going that way, get good pivot going that way. You can get them to go back so much. You can get them to go forward a decent amount there, and then when you add in the ab crunch with that diaphragm joint, you can get them to bend down quite a bit, and then going back you can get a crazy amount. But with that, you also don't get a waist swivel, so you have to use the diaphragm joint to kind of give you those turns in there. Legs can go out that far apart, so you could really do the splits quite well. One tricky thing is you kind of have to move the leg, because standard you're only going to get it there, but if you kind of move it out to the side, you can kind of get him to kick up that much. Going back, you get a little tiny bit, not a whole lot. There is an upper thigh cut there. You get a double jointed knee, which works well. There is the boot swivel in here, so you can get the turn there. You get a foot hinges down. That green part of the boot or the shin guard or whatever that is for his actual suit really hinders it that way. Going up, you're going to get the same hindrance there, and then you have an ankle pivot with peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So still very good articulation with these Power Rangers figures, but basically the same that you see with all of the Rangers figures. So let's see him next to more Tommy. Okay, so here are the 3 Tommy Oliver figures that have been released by Hasbro so far. So we have the White Ranger from Wave 1, we have the 2-pack fan channel exclusive, the Fighting Spirit Green Ranger with the Putty Patrol, and then here we have the Lord Drakkon from Wave 3. So all 3 very good figures, and then up there amongst my favorites out of the entire line. I was a big Tommy fan when I was a kid. I love the Green Ranger, love the White Ranger. So the way this one looks, it's pretty awesome. Not having read the comics to really fully understand what's going on, you know, looking into a little bit, and he became power hungry and everything, you know, in an alternate reality. So all kinds of things. It sounds like a really cool storyline. So maybe eventually somewhere down the road I'll read into it. But pretty cool. It's something I can't pass up. You know, he is part of the Mighty Morphin line, so I did add him to my collection. So really cool. I really like the way the gold actually comes out looking on this guy, whereas you know, like the Zeo Gold Ranger didn't quite get that gold treatment. You know, it was kind of bronzed out and dulled out. This one actually gets some shiny gold, which is really nice to have. So looking at these belt pieces, I just kind of want to point it out. They're essentially the same, whereas this one just kind of has the green, but the Morpher looks the same. So the Fighting Spirit Green Ranger, it's on the wrong side and it's white. It should be black and should be on this side. So I think now that they have this particular mold for the accurate way, that you know, at some point I'm sure we will get a regular Green Ranger, you know, the correct green helmet, and then with the correct belt and everything. So they have it. I'm sure they're going to release this guy single pack somewhere down the road. If Hasbro doesn't, I'd be surprised, because it's so easy for them to do, and it's nothing but money for them because people will buy it up, I have no doubt. So there that is. Okay, here is Lord Drakkon next to some of our villains. We have Goldar and Lord Zed. I was going to add in a Putty, but, you know, to get the screen all wide and stuff, I'll just kind of add him back there. All look really good together. Okay, so here he is next to the other Mighty Morphin Rangers that have been released. The Red Ranger, the standard one, I haven't opened yet. That's why he's not here. But I have the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive here. So lots of shields, you know, 3 different dragon shields, and I'm not sure if there's a specific name for this shield, but it's there. They all look very good together, and I can't wait to complete the Mighty Morphin team. You know, we'll have the regular Red Ranger soon. Black Ranger will no doubt get a regular release at some point, because, you know, he has the gold bands on those arms. So yes, you can remove all these if you cut them, but those gold bands are going to kind of get in the way of it. And each one of them uses the same exact gold bands. But they all look really good together. I believe the latest rumor is that the Yellow Ranger will be in the next wave. So wave 4 will have the Yellow Ranger, then we'll need the Blue Ranger, and then a standard release Black Ranger. But the Mighty Morphin team is coming along a little bit quicker than I actually would have thought. I thought Hasbro was really going to take their time with it and really stretch it out. Whereas I think they're really getting us close already. So now I would just like to see more and more villains, you know, whenever possible. So we'll include all my Rangers that I have here. So we have the White Ranger as well. I have the Zeo Gold Ranger to add in. And then would just be the villains, Zed, Goldar, and Putty that we saw in the last little bit. They all look really good. I'm loving these Power Rangers figures. It's really nostalgia in my childhood for me. So I'm very, very happy with it. You guys let me know down in the comments below. What do you think of this figure? What do you think of the entire line? It's still pretty new. I'm curious to know what you guys think and what your thoughts are on it. If you guys have any additional information on Lord Drakkon that's really highlight that I should know, let me know down in the comments below. If you guys do like this video, please hit that thumbs up button to show your support. It really helps out and goes a long way. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and thank you guys for watching.